Okay, hello everyone. My name is Paul Jacob Barney. I'm the secretary of the NSBE at UNLV, and this is our 30th anniversary celebration. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to start with an introduction video on our YouTube channel. All right. And okay. So again, I just want to thank everyone for taking the time to join us today. Today, UNLV NSBE is celebrating 30 years on the UNLV campus. I'll give the stage to our president, Lula Mena.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate you. Like PJ said, today's our 30th year anniversary. And if it wasn't for people like Dr. J, like Dr. Eugene, and a lot of our previous board members, we wouldn't be here. So it's a celebration of them and us together, trying to keep this torch going on through generations. Because imagine 30 years is a long time. So it's a celebration of you, us, our ancestors, right? Technically, people who are before us, and also people who are here right now. So thank you so much for coming. For people who are here for the first time, we'll do a quick presentation. Could you let me uh, screen share, PJ? Oh, you mute.
Pardon me, I said yes, please try again.
Okay, thank you. Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So this is for people who are here for the first time, or just to give you like a general rundown of what NSBE stands for. NSBE stands for National Society of Black Engineers. Our mission is to increase the number of culturally responsible Black engineers who excel academically, succeed professionally, and positively impact the community. Our history, founded in 1974 at Purdue University by the Chicago Six. Those are the people that you see in the picture, headquartered in Alexandria, Virginia. 300 plus chapters, 220 plus corporate partners, and more than 13,000 members and counting. NSBE usually works for the pre-collegiate initiative and the collegiate initiative, and also the professional world. Well, we keep the pipeline of having students at young age uh, be interested in STEM and then pursue it in college, and also have networking opportunities while in the professional world. Um, our foundation 10 years ago by Dr. Eugene. That's what we're celebrating today. So it's our day. Um, he was the first director of UNLV's MEP back in 1989. He created and supervised many outreach opportunities. We also have a collegiate chapter, I believe, that's been active for 5 years. We're trying to maintain the connection. I mean a professional chapter. Sorry, that was a typo. We have a professional chapter uh, that has been here, and we also created a new pre-collegiate chapter, or we can say junior chapter, but we'll talk about that later. Um, our advisor right now is Dr. Joanna Jezierska. She's the director of multicultural program for STEM in health sciences. Currently, she has a lot of experience working 13 years across both CSN and UNLV. She really helped us. She was there for us from the beginning, as far as I can remember. So, like, a huge shout out to you, Dr. J, again for doing so much to us throughout the years for many of the e-board members previous to us and us now. Because if it wasn't for you, there will be no more continuity as well. So by being there, by being our guardian, by being our resource, we really appreciate you. Um, the NSBE torch, that's our symbol, that's our logo. So the torch symbolizes everlasting burning desire to achieve success. The lightning, again, give you like that striking impact that will be felt by the community, because at the end of the day, as Black engineers, we're supposed to give back to the community. So we're supposed to impact our community in the good way. So that's a short logo, definition of the logo. We have 6 regions. We're currently in region 6. Um, Specifically, there are also 6 zones in the region 6. We're in the southwest zone. Um, why join NSBE? There's a lot of benefits. This slide doesn't do it justice, to be honest. We have 2 conferences, fall and regional conference every year, where you see people like us dressed up in a professional setting, and there's so much networking opportunities. It's amazing. There's a lot of job opportunities, internships, co-ops. I know a lot of people who have got their internships through NSBE somehow, and I can attest to that too. There's a lot of scholarships and hackathons, technical and professional workshops. I learned a lot about how to manage your time and how to, like financial literacy in a lot of NSBE workshops. Um, Leadership development, of course, there's always like a chapter, regional and national level, so you can develop your leadership skills in many layers in zones. So it's quite the value is amazing. And networking, we get to meet a lot of students from different universities that we would never had the chance to had it not been for NSBE. So, and we learn from them a lot too. So that's a huge opportunity. We have our annual convention. Oh, uh, that's a presentation. That was from a different slide, but that was a quick intro to NSBE, and welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Alula. So our first keynote speaker for today is Dr. Eugene McGaugh. He's not here just yet, but I will read his bio for everyone.
Oh, PJ, sorry, you're mute.
Mute.
You've been mute from the beginning. Sorry.
Thank you. My apologies. Okay. I'll start over. Okay. This is Dr. Eugene McGaugh's bio. I don't know if I mentioned that. It reads, Dr. Eugene McGaugh is currently an emeritus associate professor in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, UNLV, College of Engineering, following his retirement in June 2010. McGaugh developed the UNLV Minority Engineering Program, MEP, and served as its director from 1989 through 2007. McGaugh also served as Associate Dean for Student Affairs in the College of Engineering from 2003 through 2007. The mission of the MEP was to increase the enrollment, retention, professional development, and graduation rates of underrepresented minority students majoring in engineering, computer science, and construction management. Through the MEP, scores of students receive scholarships, tutoring, mentoring, and employment. McGaugh worked to convince students that they could succeed in earning an engineering degree if they remained focused, worked hard, and used all available resources. Dr. McGaugh initiated programs to stimulate interest in engineering and computer science among middle school students. One of his biggest pleasures was to see young people enter the university as freshmen and graduate to become successful technical professionals. McGaugh was instrumental in establishing student chapters of the American Indian Science and Engineering Society, the National Society of Black Engineers, and Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers at UNLV. Over the years, McGaugh has received, excuse me, people are trying to enter it all. Okay. Over the years, McGaugh has received outstanding faculty awards from the UNLV student government, the student chapters of Tau Beta Pi, Engineering Honor Society, the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, and the University and Community College System of Nevada. Prior to his employment at UNLV, McGaugh was a senior staff engineer at Hughes Aircraft Company, Missile Systems Group, and Canoga Park, California, where his work involved the design, development, and testing of radar and imaging infrared guided missiles. His industry experience also includes the Western Electric Company in Lee's Summit, Missouri, where he was involved in the manufacture of telecommunications equipment. McGaugh is a member of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, the American Society for Engineering Education, the National Association of Multicultural Engineering Program Advocates, and a life member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. McGaugh is a native of Kansas City, Missouri, and received Bachelor's of Science and Doctorates of Philosophy degrees in Electrical Engineering from the University of Kansas and a Master's of Science degree in Electrical Engineering from the University of Missouri-Columbia. He and his wife, Elwyn, have a son, a daughter, son-in-law, and granddaughter. Okay, thank you everyone for listening. So I see Dr. Eugene McGaugh has arrived. And if you would take the floor, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I see a lot of familiar faces. Faces from the past. So everybody's looking good. So it's indeed a pleasure to be here on this auspicious occasion to celebrate a significant milestone, I guess, in the history of the UNLV NSBE chapter. As a matter of fact, you didn't have to even have me do this. You could have had one of the NSBE alums, do this presentation. I see there's a gentleman by the name of John Jones coming to us from Simi Valley, California, who could have taken care of this. So, but I'll do what I can here. But it's again, it's a pleasure to see everyone. And I know that this is a very nice afternoon here in Las Vegas, and it's a good time, I guess, to be out and about. So I just like to commend everyone for taking time to be here today. As you know, I served as director of the Minority Engineering Program in the UNLV College of Engineering from 1989 to 2007. So that represents close to 18 years. And the NSBE chapter was an important component of that program, because I served as the chapter advisor for 17 years while serving as the MEP director. In other words, I served as the advisor, I guess, when the chapter started, I guess, actually in the spring of 1990 through 2007. And I am very gratified to see that the chapter remains active and productive after 31 years. And I'm sure that a lot of people helped to make that happen, throughout the years, which include university staff like Dr. J and current and past student members. The MEP, I guess they don't call them MEPs anymore, and for in most cases they call them multicultural engineering programs or other terms. The purpose of the program is to recruit, retain, and graduate underrepresented minority students. And these programs provide services such as tutoring, advising, counseling, help in finding employment opportunities. And they also support student organizations like NSBE, SHIP, ACES, and SWE. And so this is what I was involved in, I guess, from that during those 17 years as MEP director. I told the story many times about how I worked with a student by the name of Dave Dragon, and also Montez Love and other students to establish the chapter in the spring of 1990. And we also got other students, I guess, involved in the establishment of that chapter, such as Clark McCarroll, and who's on here today, and Montez Love. Montez Love, Dave served as the president. I think Montez Love was listed as the vice president, and a student by the name of Stanton Olfenson, who I have not seen, I guess, in years, I think served as the treasurer. And later on, we got other students involved on the chapter. And we were very fortunate to have very good leadership, for the most part, during the time that I served as advisor. And the chapter was able to, kind of develop, ideas for their activities that they completed, with some assistance from the MEP office. So these student organizations really play a key role in MEPs. They help the MEP, I guess, in recruiting students, retaining students, and in some ways helping to graduate more underrepresented minority students. NSBE, I guess, as well as other student organizations, helped me to conduct outreach to high school and middle school students, and inform these students about careers, I guess, in engineering. And they also, in some instances, accompanied me to high schools and college fairs to recruit students into the engineering program at UNLV. The student chapters kind of serve as a mechanism, I guess, for members to meet their social, professional, academic goals, and thereby help each other succeed. And that's an important thing, I guess, for the retention, I guess, of students. And organizations like NSBE, of course, as you know, they enhance leadership and organizational skills through the students, serving as officers, like what we have here today. And they can also go so far as to form study groups and share information, I guess, on classes and this sort of thing. And they can also seek the assistance of NSBE alums, who I'm sure are always willing to lend a helping hand to learn about working in various companies and what the expectations are, in those companies. Also, the chapter was an important part of the MEP, and it served as they provided tour guides for pre-college students visiting the college, and also the members participated in MEP activities such as picnics and award luncheons, both the award luncheon, I guess, in the spring, as well as a scholarship receptions, I guess, in the fall. At this time, I'd like to kind of share a few photos, kind of walk back throughout those years, I guess, while I was served as director of the program. Some of you will remember some of the folks that are in these photos. I have to admit, there's some folks in those photos that I don't remember. I do remember those folks that are here today, like Alana Franklin, and just spoke to her the other day. And also, I see we have Mr. Ken Evans. I guess that's online here. So he's another person, I guess, that's very familiar with the program. So let me see if I can try to share what I have with you here. Let's see, share screen. Okay, try to do this. Go up here and share. And let's do this. See how this works out. Okay, everybody see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, first of all, this is Dave Dragon, who was the first NSBE chapter president. Became our first president in 1992. I spoke to him a few days ago. He's living in Tempe, Arizona at this time. Behind him, I guess, there's another student by the name of Raul Flores, and he's works locally at a company called JT4. This is a picnic of MEP members, and I think everybody in there, I think, is a NSBE member. I think John Jones' back is to us in that photo. I don't know if you remember that or not, over in Sunset Park.
No, I don't.
You don't remember. What's the problem? You got dementia or something, or?
It catches up with everybody, bro. Yeah.
Actually, Doc, that's probably the best picture, or the best way to look at him in a picture.
Okay, yeah, there's some other alums, I guess, in this picture, and this is like, again, this is what, 27, 28 years ago. So these folks are I'm sure up in age today.
Yeah, that's Drew Wilkerson and Nathan White, Doc.
Yeah, Drew Wilkerson, the guy,
Yeah.
Nate White, I guess his back is to us there.
Yeah.
And the guy holding the volleyball, I think, is Derek Price. I think maybe Derek Price. I think that's Derek Price. And then there's another student, I guess, on the left there that's holding the basketball. Can't remember his name. He's from Jamaica.
Oh.
And then the gentleman here, I don't know if I want to say Brian.
Brian. Yep.
That's Brian. Okay. I haven't seen him, I guess, in a little while. And we have the head of one of the former NSBE presidents, Harold McDowell. And then to the right of him is Charles. And I haven't seen Charles in many, many years. And Charles has a lot of photos, a lot of NSBE photos. So he would be a good person to, telling Paul this. He'd be a good person, I guess, to catch up with. But I have no contact information, I guess, about him. Okay, and this is one of our typical MEP awards luncheons, and so we just have a number of folks back there, including Jim Wonderland and Jerome Candate. I'm sure some folks remember him. Also, there's a gentleman here by the name of Irie Blue. I don't know if he's on board today with us. Mel Mitchell, Dr. David James from the Civil Engineering Department.
I think that's Kendra too, Doc.
Where?
I think that's Kendra to your right.
To the right, Kendra?
Yeah, I think that's Kendra, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, okay. You guys, you have to help me out with this.
I'm used to helping you out now, Doc. Yeah. I'll help you get out the chair too. Yeah, I'll help you get out the chair.
You're also your AKA a Minister of Information for the MEP. Okay. Okay, this is then again one of the luncheons, and just have to make an award to one of the CDEP students, the Cooperative Developmental Energy Program students from Fort Valley. And his name is Jason. I can't think of Jason's last name, but he worked here for a while in the city, but he left, I think. We have again, one of the luncheons in the background in the middle there. We have Betty McCrae, used to be one of the administrative assistants for the program. And CDEP student is Luther Davis, I guess one of the Fort Valley students. Went back to Maryland. He was from Maryland. Okay. And this was MEP Awards Luncheon in 2006, and we have a multitude of students here. I cannot name them all, but we have Kazim. I hope Kazim, I guess, is on today here. Omidiji and Alvin, of course, and these are three Fort Valley students here. Another Fort Valley student here, and Arenzi, and another Fort Valley student, and this is Jordan Arichi, I think it is, who works here locally. He graduated, works here locally, and some other students here, Shantae Gorton, and can't think of her name right offhand. And this was a trip that we took to JPL, I guess back in 2000. A number of NSBE students, I guess, are in this photo. What is that? 21 years ago. So number of students here, including this is Tyrone Roach, who now has his doctorate, and he was a faculty member at University of Oklahoma for a little while. And now I think he works for the Aerospace Corporation in Los Angeles. So has his doctorate in, with emphasis, I guess, on electromagnetics. So it's a heavy field. I guess he designs antennas or something, I guess, for, for those guys over in LA. And Frederica Brown. Frederica came to UNLV to work on a master's and her doctorate in mechanical engineering. And she is now working at the university as a professor at the University of Texas at Tyler. And she's been down there, I guess, for a number of years. And she married one of the CDEP students by the name of Richard. I can't think of his name. Guy's about 6'10" or so. I don't.
Richard Herron.
Richard Herron, yeah, okay, Richard Herron from Valley High School. Yeah, okay. All right. And as a matter of fact, that's Richard, I think, over here, as a matter of fact. Okay, and let's see. Now, this is something we're very proud of, is something we did, I guess, in 2006. We worked, I guess, for several weekends with some middle school students at Bob Bailey and Jim Bridger Middle School here in Las Vegas. And I guess actually North Las Vegas, just about. And we worked with those students for about 6 consecutive Saturdays, talking to them about engineering and the STEM fields, and with the help of several NSBE alums at that time, like and also undergraduate students like Ivory again here, and this is Sean Knox, works here locally, Raul Flores, and gosh, I can't think of her name, but she's one of the CDEP students, and Alvin back here, another NSBE alum. So anyway, we had those students to come out to the university for about 6 consecutive Saturdays, and after which, if they participated, all 6 Saturdays, we would take them on a trip to JPL in Pasadena, California, and follow that with a trip to Magic Mountain. I guess, and you can imagine which of those 2 things, I guess, they're most excited about between JPL and Magic Mountain. Okay, and these Fort Valley students, and with the Minister of Information, I guess, so he shows up everywhere. He's just is the omnipresent all over the place. And this was one of their, this is Sing Lee Garcia, which is their electrical engineering professor down at Fort Valley, and very a favorite amongst the Fort Valley students.
Doc, being old school, I still got that black UNLV jacket, just so you know.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
and it's got a NSBE symbol on the back, guys, embroidered. So
I'll have to see that sometime. Yeah. You'll have to bring that over to the Archer Bar sometime when we meet for lunch. Okay. And I had to show this gentleman here. It's Dr. Isaac Crumley, because he's the one that was responsible for sending all those CDEP students to us from Fort Valley. And he is still involved, I guess, with that program. He's been involved with that program, raising money to send students to not only UNLV but University of Arkansas and Penn State, and just a number of places. over the years. So that's Dr. Isaac Crumley, I guess, and his wife. Got Clark McCarroll in the background here speaking to one of the former mechanical engineering professors here, Dr. Skaggs, who's no longer with us, unfortunately. And this is some familiar faces. Some NSBE students, I guess, went to a national convention. I don't know where that was. Was that Toronto or somewhere?
Houston.
That was in Houston. Okay,
Yeah.
So we got Jason White, we got Alana Franklin, who's on here today. I think she's up in Berkeley now at this time, and I don't know this gentleman, but then Ivory Blue and Mel Mitchell. Yeah. And then after that, you got in 2010, you had, I guess, students, that attended the NSBE National Convention in Toronto. This was Toronto. So it's a number of students here, including Shaquela Fuller, Alvin, NSBE student here. I can't think of her last name. Brittany.
Leah Preston.
Oh, Leah Preston. Oh, okay. Okay. And let's see.
That's Christy, and that's Tyrone. That's Lexi.
This is Lexi.
Stephanie. No, the other one is Lexi. That's Stephanie Ross.
Stephanie Ross.
Yeah, and Paul Thurman.
This gentleman here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And who is this?
That's Carl Mack. He was the director.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're kind of an outspoken individual.
Yeah, and then I'm in the back, Dr. McGaugh.
Okay, you're right.
Brittany in the back.
Right
Yep.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, gotcha. And then somebody next to you.
Yes, that's Fort Valley member. Her name was I think Dee. And then next to me is Janisha.
Okay.
Yeah, Fort Valley student.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right. And this is
Elliot.
That's my frat there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives. Last time I looked, he was living in Hawaii.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was work took him over there. Okay. Continuing to walk down the stroll down Melody Lane. This is Dave Dragon a few years ago, and I don't know if Dave got on here today or not, but this is his daughter, oldest daughter, and his son. This was 2015, 6 years ago. So they're doing other things. This was taken at our print shop that we used to have here in Las Vegas. And couple of I'm here with a couple of distinguished gentlemen here. As I say, the omnipresent John Jones, minister, also known as Minister of Information, and then Ivory Blue. Okay, and I have been before the COVID set in. I was doing lunch every month, I guess, with Ivory.
And when I come to town, I try to get together and take Doc out to lunch because Doc was so important to me in my life. So it's always good. Yeah. I think that was the last time before the pandemic. But yeah.
Yeah, back 2019, a couple of years ago. Yeah. Well.
I was going to say they're both reaching for his wallet.
Yeah.
Well, Ken, just so you know, as you professionally develop, I was probably one of the more, I'm going to say, challenging vocal students Doc helped evolve, but I make sure I pay for Doc's lunch. And Doc's is a witness, not like you remember, Ken. Yeah.
Well, these days I need somebody to pay for my lunch. After all, I'm a retiree and I'm on a fixed income, and so I'm just I'm getting those stimulus checks, and so I'm just I'm doing what I can. I'm just trying to eke out a living, here in Henderson, Nevada. So,
Well,
Still cheap Ken.
what's that?
Still cheap Ken.
that's right, Clark. Ken is
That's,
cheap.
that's usual euphemism for that. Let's say frugal.
No, let's call it what it is, Doc. Yeah, let's call a thing a
Frugal.
thing. Yeah, he's a cheap, frugal, whatever. Yeah.
It's cheap.
I prefer the term thrifty or frugal.
Uh-huh.
We prefer cheap, don't we, Clark?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I gotta talk to Ken about getting some tickets to the Raider games here. So I don't want to say anything bad about him.
Well, you're gonna fit out the crowd if you don't, because the rest of us dog Ken every chance we get. That's just how we do it. Yeah.
And I couldn't end without showing a picture of this gentleman here. His name is Jim Wonderland, and he was a farmer. He's retired now, former vice president of engineering at Southwest Gas, and he served as the president or chair of the MEP advisory board for many, many years, while I served as director. And he told me he would serve on that board as long as I was director of the program. So he must have been on that board for at least 14, 15 years or so. But I talk to him every now and then, but his name is Jim Wonderland. So owe him a debt of gratitude. So that's all I wanted to show, I guess, as far as the photos were concerned. We just wanted to make the point that is there a need for programs like MEP? Is there a need for programs like NSBE? Well, when you consider that the number of last count here, the number of engineering degrees that African American students are earning throughout colleges throughout the country is like about 4%. And you consider that the locally at UNLV, I think most recently the number of engineering degrees earned by bachelor's degrees earned by African Americans at UNLV is about 5%. When the population, I guess, in Las Vegas is about 12%, that represents significant underrepresentation. And there's still a lot to be done to try to, get more kids, interested, African American and other minority students interested in the STEM fields, and also for those who do decide to go on and major in engineering at the universities, to provide support to those students to contribute to the retention and graduation rates of those students once they enter the university. Now, NSBE has an initiative. They start nationally started an initiative, I think, in 2016 to try to increase the graduation rate of African American engineering students up to 10,000, I think 10,000 a year by the year 2025. So that's a very ambitious goal, and it's going to take a lot of work, and that includes a lot of outreach to pre-college students, K through 12, to try to get more of those students, I guess, into the pipeline. And I don't know where we are, with that right now, but we got a lot of work to do to make that happen. And the university has work to do. Also, industry, like DOE, has work to do, and So there's a lot to be done. So I can say, I'm sure that a lot of you can say more, about that. But I'm happy to see that the NSBE chapter at UNLV is taking on the responsibility for establishing a NSBE Junior chapter, and programs like that will certainly serve to get more students, into the pipeline. So that's about all I have to say. I just want to thank you for listening to me this afternoon. And again, I'm just tickled pink to see all of the faces, I guess, and the names that are posted up here.
I got to tell you, if I could, guys, there were several what I would say old school OGs that started NSBE. I was one of them. Ken, Clark, Lana definitely participated. I had all of those roles of president, secretary. I don't know if they still had a trimathlon. I was the lead of that for the Region 6 one year. So NSBE just played a big part in my life. Very thankful. And oh my goodness, I mean, I was so hardcore. That's why you saw my little embroidered jacket where I took my UNLV jacket and put my NSBE on the back of it. It's embroidered. It still fits, and I still take care of it. So I still wear it, even though I always say I look like a college kid with a fraternity jacket on. But I was a real big NSBE fan and have nothing but respect and admiration for NSBE. I'll tell you, at those conferences, I used to embarrass the rest of the chapter. I would show up with a plastic bag when they had their opening day where they serve a bunch of food, and I'd just be stacking a bunch because I was a college student and really trying to make sure I got food for that next day that I didn't have to pay for, because surviving on like $500 a month, as a college student. I could tell you some stories how I embarrassed Doc, where I was just eating everything in the house at lunches, etc. But I'll say, outside of NSBE, I just want to say that all of this would not be done without that man sitting up there with that beautiful shirt, Dr. McGaugh. Dr. McGaugh was like a dad to most of us. He was the first Black engineer I ever met in my life. Just had none but respect for him. I used to drive him nuts because I would be the self-professed communicator for NSBE, being the Minister of Information. But he really helped me. And, none of this happens without leadership of Doc up front, supporting us from the heart. He really was. So it's why anytime I come to Vegas, me and Doc are going to sit down and try to break some bread, because even though he's not comfortable with it, I insist on paying for it, because he was just a wonderful leader and friend, and I appreciate you, Doc. So I just had to make sure I got that in there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. John Jones, and thank you so much, Dr. Eugene McGaugh, for your presentation today. So we're going to transition into another video from a CDEP student, actually, as Dr. McGaugh was talking about Fort Valley University and CDEP, and Dr. Isaac Crumbly. We're going to have a short video from UNLV NSBE member Tyler Peters, CDEP student from Fort Valley. Okay, excellent. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Jacob Barney. I'm the current secretary of UNLV NSBE. I'm joined today by Mr. Tyler Peters. Thank you for your time, Mr. Tyler Peters. So I'm going to tell the audience a little bit about you and the program which you came to UNLV through. So Tyler Peters is a junior computer engineering major at UNLV. Additionally, he is a transfer student from the Fort Valley State University. Tyler Peters comes to UNLV through the Fort Valley State University Cooperative Developmental Energy Program, also known as CDEP. CDEP has one of the best track records in the nation for recruiting minorities and women in science and engineering disciplines. Since 1993, CDEP has provided over $12 million in scholarships for students. These students are creating a human resources pool that addresses the issue of diversity in America's STEM workforce. In 1992, the CDEP program founder and director, Dr. Isaac Crumbley, developed a dual degree program between Fort Valley State University and the University of Nevada, Las Vegas in engineering and health physics. Tyler Peters is one of the many students to come from Fort Valley State University to UNLV through the pipeline established by Dr. Crumbley. Since Tyler Peters has arrived on the UNLV campus, he has repeatedly demonstrated interest in UNLV NSBE, attending more than 7 UNLV NSBE events, including general body meetings and workshops. On April 6, 2021, Tyler Peters was elected Telecommunications Chair of UNLV NSBE for the 2021-22 academic school year. Okay, thank you very much for bearing with me for that rather lengthy introduction. I do have a few questions for you. Okay, so the first of which is a request. Please tell the audience a little bit more about yourself, such as where you were born, where you grew up, and what your current hobbies are.
Well, thank you so much for the introduction, PJ. And hello, everybody. My name is Tyler Peters. I was born and raised in Loganville, Georgia. And some of my hobbies include playing basketball, web development, and learning about finance.
That's awesome. I think you'll be a great fit for the telecommunications chair. We look forward to everything that you can bring to our website. Okay. And the second question I have for you is, when was your interest in STEM first kindled?
Well, I would say from really as far back as I remember, I've been interested in technology. But I would say from a professional standpoint of knowing I want to get into STEM as a career, probably around my third year of high school.
I see. So the third question I have for you is, of all the engineering majors available at UNLV through the College of Engineering, what made you decide to study computer engineering? Was this a requirement or was it your own preference?
It was definitely my own preference. I got to choose from any engineering discipline that I wanted. And I decided on computer engineering because I felt like it gave me the best opportunity to kind of put my ideas into action, and just anything I think of, I can kind of make.
I see. Incredible. So my fourth question is, what do you plan to do post-graduation with your computer engineering degree? Is there a particular company you're interested in working for, or perhaps a set of gadgets or technologies you intend to develop?
After I graduate, I plan on becoming either a web developer or a software developer. I wouldn't say there's a specific technology or company I want to work on, just a company that's kind of progressing towards the future and doing good things.
I see. Great answer. My fifth and final question is, how do you imagine UNLV NSBE helping you to reach your academic and professional goals?
I definitely think from a professional standpoint, NSBE will help me get in touch with people in the STEM field who are kind of in a position where I want to get into, and it'll provide me good feedback to know what I need to be doing now to set myself up to have a great career. And academically wise, I know my peers will push me to do my best academically.
I see. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Tyler Peters, for your time. This concludes the interview, unless you have any questions for me.
No questions for me, but I do want to say thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for your time. All right, thank you, everyone. This is Tyler Peters and Paul Jacob Barney. All right. Okay, so next on our agenda is a presentation by President Alu Lamena. He's going to do a presentation on the review of the past academic year.
Thank you, PJ. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Great. Thank you. So we're going to do a quick rundown of what we have been doing for the last 2 years. I try to do like 3-4 seconds per slide, just to see like what kind of activities we have, what kind of events we're been holding, and just to see, just to like see where we're at basically. Let me share this screen. Can you see it? By any chance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, let's do a quick 2019-2020 review. So we started with involvement fair. That's where we table and we ask students to join. That's where we get a majority of our members. We have the first general body meeting. As you can see, we have Alvin, we have Yvonne, um, we have Lexi as well. I think she left before we took the picture. But that was like the first general body meeting that we had. We also have a high school student called who's been very active, who's way ahead of his time that we really appreciate, and it's kind of like the pipeline in one picture if you think about it, like high school, college level, and then professional engineers. So we started the semester like that, and then the next event that we have was a Google workshop where we have people from Google talk to us on how to tailor our resume, and it's especially geared to software engineering students. But what kind of projects to learn, what kind of how to tailor your resume to specific software engineering jobs. And then we have the second journal body meeting. We have professional engineers come and talk to us. We still have some alumni. We have Brian as well. We have Alvin. Um, uh, and we also have another professional engineer who is a female, which we really like because there's a very short we don't know a lot of female engineers, so to see that is very inspiring. She came and told us about her experience and also her entrepreneurship uh, adventures, I guess. And then this event is Halloween. So we have a Society of Women Engineers event where they usually do a Halloween event. So we partnered with them. We had fun. It was a great time. And then we have FRC for regional conference that was in San Francisco. Very glorious. We learned a lot. Probably my favorite conference so far before COVID, happened. Um, and then our third general body meeting, we had a great turnout. We had a lot of people. People keep on coming in and out. So the picture that we take last time is not all the people that came. Usually people leave like halfway or something like that, or they have to go. They present first and then they have to leave. But we ended up the semester strong. We had a lot of connections. We word came out. Word was traveling to our college, and we are gaining like more exposure from people, and the people are inviting their friends, and we're inviting their friends. So we had such a good time. We also have a diversity workshop where I think it was the first diversity workshop facilitated by Dr. J. So we partnered with Society of Asian Scientists and Engineers, and we talked about diversity in STEM. It's a we it's a very glaring problem, but I think one that we haven't addressed it like publicly, I guess, just to see how how diverse the professional world or the STEM field is really, even in colleges too. And then we had a last hangout for the e-board, just to say, oh, we're not just all, uh, we work hard and play hard. I guess we had fun. Like I was learning a lot of golfing tricks. I took golfing was like rich person, white person activity, but I didn't know it. So, I never engaged in that kind of sports, but I learned a lot, and it was very fun. Spring 2020, again, we start with involvement fair. Same thing again, just tabling. We got a lot of people signing up. It was windy, I remember. And then the first general body meeting, it was a great turnout as well. We have students from different organizations come and talk to us. So we want to collaborate with them as well with um, some of them were like Society of Women Engineers, some of them was Society of Hispanic Engineers, and a graduate Black student. Um, and then we had the first technical workshop. We believe in providing value as the first technical workshop in recent history, I guess. So we really want to do provide value. So teach people how to create their own website in 1 hour. It took like 1 hour and a half, but it was very successful. We learned how to make our own website. And thanks to Tonique and Leo for doing that, the workshop. We have Spring 20, and the next event is Googler again. So Googlers came. Those three guys, I don't know if you can, those guys were from Google employees. It's like a same kind of event like the previous semester, but more in detail and also more in person. We have a tour. There's a company called Switch in Las Vegas. It's a data center. It's a huge data center actually. And we also had a tour, probably the first event of its kind in recent history. And then we have the second general body meeting, again, a great turnout. And, but surprise, surprise, I think this happened to be the last in-person meeting that we have because COVID struck right after this meeting. But we didn't know it was supposed to be, it's going to be our last meeting. So we did great, and then the third general body, it was virtual. It was kind of like new waters to us because we're not really, I guess, it's a new territory for pretty much everyone. We're still trying to how successfully conduct meetings, as keeping them as interesting as we can, and also providing more value. So it was a challenge, but we went through and we learned a lot. So quick review of this year, 2020, 2021. We have first general body meeting. We have professional engineers come and talk to us. Second general body meeting. There wasn't an event between because we cannot have virtual events as much as we want to, or we're still like learning about it. And then we have a game night. Just relax. People can come, and it was about to be like halfway through the semester, so it's a social event. Make friends. We just hang out with people, know each other, and like create connections, right? And then we have the first technical workshop. We Vice President Tony and NSBE alumni Sirag taught us Python, the beginning of Python, the basics of Python with projects. So when we do our workshop, we try to gear to people who are not necessarily a STEM major. So we want everyone who is not like well versed in computer like lingo or like just basic general computer knowledge, just to come and get some value, because that's what we stand for, right? If we're gonna create a workshop, we need everyone to come and get value from it. We have a second part as well, and then we have a third general body meeting. We have industry speakers. We're in the talks of creating a summer internship specifically for UNLV. We're still in the talks about it, from a local gaming company. It's a gaming testing lab. And then we start this spring semester, spring 2021, the first general body meeting this semester. We have a person from Microsoft came and talked to us about his, a veteran who has worked in Microsoft for like 20 something years, 26 years, came to talk to us about his experience. And then he mentioned something about a tech talk where he will give, he have these talks where he will teach people how to be ready for Microsoft. So we have him again for the second time. It was very, very insightful. I learned a lot of things to make me prepare for the professional world. We have second general body meeting where Dr. Eugene came. It was his first appearance, I believe, amongst us. And we're very happy to have him, because I was kind of afraid that we haven't maintained the connection with him. Like, I didn't even know he was still technically at UNLV. I thought he left town, so big shout out to PJ who tracked him and found him, and like look where we are right now. So it was our first official like public current e-board or current generation of NSBE's exposure to Dr. Eugene. So it was very phenomenal. NSBE Junior, we created an NSBE Junior chapter, which PJ will talk about soon. But we created an NSBE Junior chapter that we're very, very proud of. And then we have another technical workshop, SolidWorks technical workshop. Shout out to Jonathan Solomon. So he taught us on how to make 3D 3D like 3D shapes, which is very useful if you think about it in terms of 3D printing as well. And people don't have to be technically versed to come and join it again. I know it sounds super technical and super complicated, but he really did a great job of breaking it down to people who are not exposed to it as much. We have the annual convention. Unfortunately, I didn't go. I don't think anyone went, but we went to the previous one. It was good. We were really looking forward to it, but the uh, the virtual thing was still kind of growing on us. But definitely looking forward to the next regional and annual convention. I believe they're going to be in person, so we look forward to that. We have one more upcoming event by Tuan. Is our academic excellence chair, how to protect your intellectual property. Please take a picture or take a screenshot real quick if you want to come. And that's it. If you have any questions, that's our email, that's our Instagram. You can take a picture of this slide as well, or take a screenshot. That's like or all major communication mediums. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Alula. So next we will have a short clip from our academic excellence chairs, Thuan Chen, his interview with our UNLV NSBE advisor and multicultural program director, Dr. Joanna Jezierska. So we're going to play that now.
Oh, and Dr. Joanna, we only have 10 minutes left. I wanted to ask you, how did you get into your hobbies of making jewelry and restoring antique furniture?
So, you know, antiques are part of my life. I mean, I grew up in a country that, you know, when you go back to the history of Poland, Poland originated in 11th century. So we're talking old country, yes, not 200 years, many years, many centuries.
Yeah.
So when you go onto the old continent, European continent, if you travel, you see beautiful, you know, beautiful old things, antiques everywhere. You're visiting castles and you see those beautiful furniture. Oh my God, paintings, the frame. I mean, and I love it. I just love old stuff. I'm not necessarily a person who loves IKEA. Let's put it this way, you know, not modern furniture.
Yeah.
I love old stuff. I love
Uh-huh.
when something has a soul. You know, if I see beaten up chair, I know that this chair, you know, had experiences. Yes, someone originally made it, and a lot of people own it. You know, so
Yeah.
the furniture has a soul. So that's
Huh.
what I'm trying always to restore. So I did you know, I do restore old pieces of furniture. I do a lot of upholstery. I just love doing this. If you come to my house is just, you know, I just love old stuff, you know. So the jewelry is very interesting because when I was doing my doctorate, you know, you're in college, so you're probably experiencing the same. It was a lot of studying and reading and writing and oh boy, you know, so you're so busy that the breaks between semesters, the first break, now my first year, so after the first semester, I was so mentally tired that I needed to come up with something to just simply distress, that I did not have to talk to anybody, that I didn't have to, that didn't come with a textbook, that I can just simply sit and do it quietly, and something that would make to give me a joy. And that was beading. You know, I just went to Michael's. I remember.
Wait, you said beading? The
Beading.
BEADING.
Beading, yeah. So I went
Yes.
to Michael's and I look at beads they have. I mean, oh my gosh, you know, you just like, I just fell in love with all the beads. And I thought to myself, how about, you know, I just can do something. So I just bought few things at first. And after probably after the first year of my doctoral study, and I was only doing this in between semesters. That was my quiet work. I was doing this something for myself. You know, so let's put this way, from a distressing exercise or a hobby, distressing hobby, it just became, well, something that I do it all the time. You know, I have so many sets of different jewelry pieces I make for myself, and I have fun with it, you know. It is such a great opportunity to make a piece of jewelry the night before you have event, for example, because the night before you know what you're gonna be wearing, and I'm like, how about I'm gonna make myself a new necklace? Few hours later, I have the whole set, the dress, the necklace. I mean, it's fun, just fun. So I'm doing this just for myself.
And Dr. Joanna, if you don't mind my asking, your earrings, your necklace, did you make that?
Yeah, that's one piece that one of my pieces I made it. So it has actually jade pieces too. I love natural stone if I'm lucky to get it, but I made it, and it has that creative, see, it's like, this is how, that's how you can just, so it's a ribbon and a clasp. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I make everything. I mean, it would take way too much time to show you. I mean, it's just boxes of stuff, beads that I always do, because I always change. Today I'm wearing this, and maybe in a month or so I will change it to something else. It just doesn't matter. It's just the same beads. It's a cool hobby, it's a cool hobby, but it is a hobby that doesn't require textbook. So I can just sit down when I'm watching. I can watch a movie, and actually that's exactly this happens a lot of in the evening. When I'm watching a movie, I just do something for myself. And my friends, I make a lot of gifts. I give out a lot of things, to my friends, and people they like. Students too. Some of my female students, before if they liked something, I could just just take it, because this is not expensive. You know what I mean? But just something to make me happy.
Yeah,
I'm very creative.
I really love like what you put together.
You.
I had no idea that you made it yourself. That's amazing.
Yes, yeah, I mean, yes, and I buy also. I love going like garage sales, though.
Oh, garage sales.
Yeah, I love to bargain. So if I see something somebody's selling, I love to buy something like cheap, and then just come home and redo it, do it something new. You just need, but also to me it's a mental work, when you really become creative and you're changing something into something new, that requires a little bit of your mental work. It's the brain exercise, and I'm gonna keep myself busy for as long as I live, because I want still, if I get to the point that I'm hoping I'm gonna be living a long life, but I just want to be mentally sharp. I just want to enjoy my life. So that just, because you have to think a little when you do this.
Oh, so you're saying that it helps you to de-stress and to have, and it's the furthest away you could get from a textbook or reading and writing and school.
No, how many textbook? I mean, and I'm pretty sure that you always burn out with how much stuff you have to, as a student, you have to read, you have to get through.
Yeah.
I mean, after semester I was just drained. and the pile of stuff to read and process was still growing. It's not like I finished my books, I'm done. No, the pile was still there, and the pile was growing. But I needed something to just take that stress away. Not something that came with a text. I remember I was talking to my late husband, like, I need to come up with something I can do that does not come with a textbook. I can just sit and do it, and that was jewelry making.
That makes sense. All right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Joanna, for your time. We're going to conclude this interview with Dr. Joanna Jezierska, who is advisor for NSBE, and it sounds like 4 other student organizations.
Yes.
This is for the NSBE 30th anniversary. Thank you very much, Dr. Joanna.
Can I say something? I'm just so proud of you guys, and I'm really I want to congratulate NSBE, your organization, to have that anniversary of 30 years of serving students at UNLV. It is an accomplishment. And I'm very proud I can be part of it. So thank you so much for having me as your advisor, for letting me be your advisor. I just love you all. You're great people.
Awesome. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
All right. So thank you very much for watching. And next, oops, I have to admit someone to the meeting. Next, I will present a NSBE Junior presentation as we spoke of earlier. I'm going to be looking to the side a little bit because I'm looking at two screens, but please bear with me. Okay. Can everyone see the screen? Okay, excellent. And you can hear me clear. Great. So UNLV NSBE started communications with a community organization called Gentlemen by Choice in October. It was our finance chair, Molly Shomo's idea. Molly has brought so much community insight and a real yearning to volunteer to our organization. So she encouraged us to reach out to Gentlemen by Choice. And on November 20th, after like quite a few emails, we went to Gentlemen by Choice's Ty's Place location. This was it's November 20th, 2020, and here I am with President Alula, Treasurer Tony Graham. Here's Gentlemen by Choice Director Richard Jack III. Here is our graduated computer engineering major, Sirach. He was our programs chair. Here is Vice President Tony Amin, and here is Finance Chair Molly Shomo. Not everyone was able to make it to the meeting. Okay, so after months of paperwork, months of emails between NSBE corporate trying to get the proper paperwork in order to establish the chapter, we finally met on March 19th with 8 students from ages 10 through 13, and we gave them a presentation on the fields of engineering. So here's a picture taken after the presentation with a few students. So these are just a few of the slides from the presentation. We let them know we were the National Society of Black Engineers from University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and we let them know that we were there because we love STEM and wanted to share it with them. So here's one picture early on, really, in the presentation. And here's everyone who came. So we had President Alula Mena, Academic Excellence Chair Thuan Chen. I myself, as secretary, was there. Our treasurer, Tony Graham, was there. And our finance chair, Melisha Shomo, was there. So we taught them about NSBE history. President Alula Mena gave his history presentation to the students, and we let them know what the mission was and about the torch. Here's him giving, Alula Mena giving his presentation to the students. And we taught them a little bit about mathematics in the continent of Africa and history of mathematics. So we taught them about ciphered numerical systems. Some students actually knew what the word ciphered meant. That was our icebreaker question. And we gave them the basic definition of ciphered numerical system and its utility and encryption. Here are just a few more photos. So here are the slides that we prepared for the students. These aren't all of them, but here are our slides about our respective fields of engineering. We each made a slide about our field. So Alula, our president, made a slide about computer engineering. I'm a civil engineering major. I made a slide about civil engineering. Our finance chair, Melisha Shomo, she made a slide about network engineering. She was once a network engineer. And our treasurer, Tony Graham, made a few slides about computer science. So here's our treasurer, Tony Graham, presenting her slides on computer science. And she also taught them about 2 famous computer scientists, one of which is featured in the movie Hidden Figures. And here's our finance chair, Molly Shomo, presenting on network engineering. And we made a 15-question Kahoot quiz for the students. Kahoot is basically just like an online quiz game that students can like get out their phones and join in and play for points. So here I am just facilitating the Kahoot quiz. And they were very engaged with it, like how this gentleman has his hands on his head and he's like, no way. So this was, I said, the peak of engagement. They were very interested in this part. And the whole Kahoot quiz was about all that we had covered during our presentation, and they retained so much of it. It was very, very great. So yes, here's just how they performed. They did very well. And here's a picture that we took after our first meeting. So we've actually had 2 more meetings, one on April 9th and another on just yesterday, actually. Vice President Tony Amin and Membership Chair Jonathan Solomon and Finance Chair Alicia Shomo, they all went to back to Gentlemen by Choice and gave a presentation on the technology in STEM. I was not able to include any photos of that in this presentation, but they also brought a 3D printer and showed the students some 3D printing. So we really wanted to push forward the NSBE mission to the students, which is to increase the number of culturally responsible Black engineers who excel, academically succeed professionally, and positively impact the community. All right, so that is the entire presentation. Thank you for watching it. Next on the agenda, we have a presentation from, well, not a presentation, but an interview video from UNLV NSBE alumni Brittany Wheeler. I'm going to present my screen again. Okay. And this interview was conducted by President Alula Mena.
Hello, everybody. How are you? This is Alula Mena. I'm the current president. We have another alumni here with us, Brittany Wheeler. She has been at UNLV since 2007, from 2007 to 2012, majoring in mechanical engineering. Next year, she started as associate rotational engineer at Collins Aerospace and grew to manufacturing engineering. Currently, she's holding the senior manager of program operations. Brittany, thank you so much for coming. Appreciate you for taking the time and taking the time out of your day to come talk to us. Really means a lot. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Definitely, thank you. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, such as where you were born, where you grew up, and what your current hobbies are.
I am from Los Angeles, California, so I am a West Coast girl. I currently reside in San Diego working for Collins Aerospace, which is a Raytheon Technologies company. So I work for Raytheon. A little bit about me. I guess is I love the beach, hence the San Diego. I love the sunshine. I love the West Coast weather. You know, it never rains in Southern California. But my hobbies are skating. I love skating, and it's roller skating. It's like the whole roll, bounce, feel. I love skating. That's a passion of mine. And also another hobby, I wouldn't say it's a hobby or a passion of mine, is giving back. I have a nonprofit called Greater Than Tech that's located in San Diego, California, and it's dedicated to teaching young girls of color engineering and business concepts. So we basically kind of take it a step further of teaching STEM. We also teach them how to be leaders. So that's kind of my hobbies and a little bit about me.
That's amazing. We definitely need to talk about that, and hopefully try to bring it to Las Vegas as well, open another branch. Because it really directly ties to what NSBE stands for, right? Creating that pipeline of staying from pre-kindergarten and then college level and professional. So thank you so much. That's amazing, actually. It's my first time hearing about it. So
no problem.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely gonna bring it to Las Vegas. We started saying you're a mechanical engineering student. Why did you pick that major?
I honestly, I came for a college visit, and I knew I wanted to do aerospace. And I also know how aerospace could be up and down in the field, especially when you get into kind of the NASA route. So I wanted kind of the flexibility to be able to jump to different industries. And mechanical was the best route to do that. In mechanical, you can be in aerospace, you can be in automotive, you can be in, you know, kind of chemical, you kind of can do anything with mechanical. And I wanted that flexibility to be able to do that. So that's why I chose it.
Sounds very good. Like well-rounded. You have many
Yeah.
options. Yeah, that sounds very good. How did you first heard of NSBE and how did you get interested in it to end up joining?
So 2 ways I first heard of NSBE. I was on campus. One is through a friend. I heard about it. And then another was through the president at the time. He bribed me with pizza. So they're saying, oh, we have a NSBE meeting, a general body meeting, and there's going to be pizza. And I'm like, I'm a starving student eating macaroni and cheese. So I'm like,
Definitely.
be there if there's pizza.
That's the best way to.
So it was more so the president at the time just walking around, passing out flyers and asking people to go to the general body meeting on Thursday, because ours was every Thursday.
Yeah, that's a surefire way of bringing students. And taste it out. Definitely nothing like free food for college students. The best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had me at pizza.
Oh yeah, I agree. I've done it too. Did you assume a leadership role? If so, tell me about your role.
So when I joined NSBE, it was at the tail end, and I really wanted to go to a conference, and it was a fall regional conference. So they were like, oh, you can go, but you have to be a senator and vote for the chapter. And I'm like, okay, I could do that. So even when I first started out, I was a senator, and it was to go to the fall regional conference. So I did assume roles, but throughout my NSBE career and just falling in love with NSBE, I did grow within my leadership. So I was the senator, then was secretary for the chapter, and then I did president for the chapter, and then president emeritus, and as well. And then I went on to do regional secretary. So I did have some regional, roles, I guess, but I stayed with NSBE. It was good to me, so I wanted to be good to NSBE.
That's amazing. You even like went above and beyond, like into the. I've heard regional can be like hectic because you're dealing with a lot of schools from located like very far away geographically and time zones and different cultures of people. So that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, kudos. What was your favorite part about your role? You can talk about any role, pretty much, or all of them. What excited you the most?
I think my favorite part was probably when I was president and my vice president was a really dear friend. I liked creating vision for the chapter and also the event planning and aspects. I'm very goal oriented. So we were out there fundraising because of course we need funding. So we did sold fireworks and those different type of things to come up with ways for finding money or coming up with ways to do everything. So I like that aspect of it. Of the role is really creating the vision and executing that vision, and kind of it's your own.
I can really relate to that. Thank you so much. What do you see as the biggest accomplishment in your role?
I think the biggest accomplishment in any role is someone came after me. Because I think when you're a leader, you're supposed to, have a succession plan or have someone that comes after you. To be able to say that NSBE, is carried on after you is really big. So I think that's a big success to me, is that I'm able to talk to you today.
That is great. That is great because I feel exactly the same way. I'm leaving next year, but my team that I have now, I'm confident in leaving them with. I'm confident in leaving NSBE with the most capable hands. So I can really relate. Thank you so much. And that's kind of worrisome if you think about it, right? Like who's gonna keep the vision, who's gonna keep the torch, and I really relate. What do you like most about NSBE?
I'm gonna say what I liked most about UNLV NSBE, and then I'll tell you what I liked most about NSBE as an organization.
Okay.
What I liked most about UNLV NSBE at the time, I attended school is that we were a family. We kind of did everything together, laughed, cried, took tests together, studied together. It was a real family-oriented feel. And also we went through struggles together. So, if I had, I did bad on a test and, one of the NSBE members did good, it was like talking to them on, what I can do better and studying. So I think the best thing that I liked about UNLV NSBE was the family feel that I had somebody to support me and had somebody to go through the journey with me. And NSBE in general, I love the fact that it's a student-ran organization. It gives the students the power to run the organization and to get leadership skills. I feel like without NSBE, I wouldn't have been able to be a senior manager. I have that leadership skills in me. Within going into my company, they're called employee resource groups. We're kind of like, you can think of them as organizations within the company, affinity groups like the African-American group or something like that. And I got involved in that because of the history I had with NSBE. So it was a passion of mine. So I think in NSBE in general is that they put the power into the students to run the organization.
That's beautiful. Thank you. How would you describe the state of NSBE in your time? Probably UNLV NSBE.
During my time, I think I would say the same thing, was family oriented. And the one thing that I like, and I think it's still to this day, is we work hard and play. So it's like we are really about our business, but we do enjoy ourselves as students. So I like the balance between the two. We're all trying to graduate, but we all are trying to, enjoy life and what it has to bring to us, because tomorrow's never promised. So I love that aspect of the balance between the two, is so we may have a NSBE event and then go to dinner after or something like that, is we still can do something.
Yeah, like that is something that we want to achieve, right? Bring that tight connection, being like a family, real friends, and that's definitely our goal. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Knowing what you know now, I guess, if you go back, what would be one thing that you would improve?
I think one thing I would improve, and I'm just going to say on my part, I wouldn't change anything about UNLV NSBE or NSBE in general, because I think it's successful. And the fact that it's able to sustain throughout the years, it's whatever they're doing right. But what I would change is my intentions and my relationships within the NSBE members, the UNLV members, as well as my intentions with the whole organization. I feel like I could have did more. And I also wish that I had more communication with past members, or communication with, the past UNLV or regional members to see how they're doing right now. I do talk to some, but I wish I could talk to more. So I'll be more intentional in my relationships.
Thank you so much. That's a note to us, definitely, and that's what we
have
to learn from you. Yeah,
it's very easy to get caught up in life, and it's not on purpose; it's on accident. For after school, you're just glad you got the job. You're trying to work. You're moving to another place. It's really hard to keep in touch and have intentional relationships. So I feel like I would put that more in the forefront than the back of my mind, so I won't lose that.
Thank you so much. What's your biggest hope for the next decade in NSBE? In what ways do you expect it to grow? To grow?
The biggest hope is it continues to do what it does and it never dies. And I think I would just say it just continues. I wouldn't change anything specifically about NSBE. And I just hope that if I had to pick something, it gets bigger, right? I hope that well known. I'm walking down the street. I hope people know that NSBE. I just hope the name gets even bigger if I was to choose something. But if it wasn't for NSBE, I wouldn't have my job. So I think it should continue to do what it does in providing opportunities to students and provide more opportunities, more partnerships. So only to keep it alive.
Right on. We hope to celebrate the 40th and the 50th.
Yes, 50,
Yeah,
100,
definitely.
200, to keep celebrating all of the years of sustainability.
Yes, I agree. Thank you. Thank you. The following questions are like kind of about you personally. What would be one thing you wish you knew before you joined the professional world?
Ooh, I think one thing I wish I knew is that the journey doesn't end when I get the job. It only shifts gears and continues to a new goal. Because I remember being in school, like, all I need is a job, all I need is a paycheck, and I'm set. I'm just gonna sit back, relax, and I don't need nothing. No more news for me. But when you get into the professional world, it's totally different. You have more to look forward to. You have managers, you have directors who are, in certain positions. You have different departments you want to go to. There's so much you can learn. So I wish I wasn't so narrow-minded going in. I was more optimistic. So I think that's one of the things that I wish I knew going in. I definitely switched gears throughout the beginning of the years, but I wish going in, that's something that I kind of knew. So now that I'm senior manager, I'm like, no, I need to be director. The journey never stops. I started off as an employee or as a rotational, someone coming out of NSBE. Now, okay, I got manager. No, I want senior manager. Okay, now I want a director. So the journey never ends.
Thank you so much. That's a key advice for us, because we go to school, we go to like our exams, assignments, and go home. We don't see like the outside, or we think the end goal is like get a job and that's it. We don't see what lies behind beyond that first step, which we think is going to be the last step. But now you're
I thought it was the last.
Yeah.
You're totally right. It's the beginning of a whole new world, and it shifts gears. And not only within myself, is I'm like, okay, I have a professional, career, but I want to do more. And that's why I got into the whole nonprofit and doing something that gives back to, girls of color in San Diego. So I'm like, no, I have to be doing more and developing the pipeline.
I agree, 100%. Thank you so much. That's a key insight. And that's the whole point of, I guess, me, what I think about the best thing that I've gained from NSBE is trying to see, okay, what's the next step? What's beyond school? And thank you so much. It really helps.
Yeah, and some people are not like that. Some people are content with this certain job when they reach a certain, I guess you can say, a certain position in their career. They're okay with that. I'm the type of person, I always have to have something to look forward to or to work towards. So I'm never comfortable. So it just really depends on the type of person you are. So my advice may not work for everybody. It's just learn where you want to know, where you want to be in your career, to work towards that and make it so you're still learning and still learning new things and you're not stagnant.
100% works for me. Thank you so much. What has been, I guess it's like an inverse of the previous question, but what has been your biggest lesson learned so far in the professional world?
And that's a good question. I think the biggest lessons learned, and I learned it later, is that a network is really powerful. You need a network, you need mentors, you need advocates in order for you to excel in your career trajectory or your career journey, because they're the ones that are going to help you and bend the place that you are trying to go. They're going to offer advice for you. They're going to offer like a certain, maybe jobs. They're going to act as kind of your reference. When someone says, hey, is Brittany a good employee? They're going to hit my mentor up and say, hey, is she a good employee? And they're going to vouch for me and be that advocate. So I think that's one of the things that I'm like, man, I should have learned that earlier. And instead of later, I have it, but I wish I would have got it earlier.
Thank you so much. It goes back to, again, like the use of NSBE, right? Learn how to make meaningful connections and
Yes.
and maintain it too. I feel like that's even like another level that I just learned. It's not about starting the networking again, but just keeping, just maintaining throughout the year and making it like a healthy relationship as well. Yeah, thank you so much. Last but not least, can you identify key attributes that were needed in your professional development journey?
Yes, throughout my professional development journey, I would say key attributes that, helped me along the way is I'm a really good communicator. So communication was key. Even if you're a quiet person, you need to communicate and you need to be able to articulate the job, articulate the task, or articulate yourself to different people. You may be talking to a technical person, you may be talking to a non-technical person, so you can't get technical. You have to be able to communicate into people's listenings. So I feel like the fact that I am a good communicator helped me along that journey. Of course, it got better. And I've been, now more intentional. Now I have, I'm able to have certain conversations, and I have a level of emotional intelligence. So, but I think is communication, networking. So developing those relationships, being intentional, being transparent. I'm a very transparent person. If I don't know something, I will tell you, but I will also tell you I will find out, or I'll try my best to answer that question. So I'm very transparent. And the last thing is, when I think about it, is I have a level of, I'm optimistic. So I'm in risk avert. So I can look at the good and the bad in something and also make a plan to address it. So I'm not to a point where I'm like, oh, this is going to happen no matter what. And I'm also not a point is this is never going to happen. So I'm a great balance between the two and looking at the risk. So I think those are really key attributes that helped me in my professional development, and I actually developed in my personal journey. So I don't say is I didn't have every single one of them starting off, but I did develop a level of each and every one of them. They're not all top tier and crisp, but I will say is I have some level of them and they helped me succeed.
Thank you so much. Communication, networking, tolerance of risk or risk calculation, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, those are huge. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to talk to us. As you know, we're celebrating our 30th year anniversary.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. If it hasn't been for you, like we wouldn't be here. So
it's not just me, it's for everybody. There was past and alumni that were key. They're the reasons why I'm here talking to you is they helped me and developed me. And I feel like it's you. So you're also part of it. It's everyone who was, key into that. And it's not just the presidents, it's everyone who was on the board. So some people who are very involved in NSBE but weren't a president or weren't, did not have the VP title or the 4 key position titles, but very instrumental in the success of NSBE. So I feel like anyone who joined NSBE, even the members, to keep it alive, it's the reason why we're talking today.
I 100%.
We have a 30th anniversary.
Yes, let's go. And even though we couldn't celebrate it right now in person, but we definitely will plan to celebrate it in the fall semester of 2021. Hopefully you can come. Hopefully your friends can come.
Yes.
We want to celebrate you. It's like, if it wasn't for you, really.
Let's celebrate us. How about us?
Definitely. And definitely like us a whole as a NSBE family. And we even have the founder of NSBE, NSBE, that is Dr. Eugene McGaugh.
Yes, Dr. McGaugh.
Yeah, we even found the first president, the first member of UNLV NSBE and the first president, technically, Dave Dragon. So seeing that like having that lineage goes where you're technically like our ancestors, right? The people who passed the torch to us, and there's so much valuable, uh, invaluable wisdom really to learn from you, and to see your struggles, what you have gone through, and see you successful professional goes. Uh, that's again one of the key values of NSBE, right? To see
Yeah.
people who look like us be successful engineers in higher leadership positions as well. So it will inspire students like us to want to work and to feel like we belong in the engineering world as well. Um, thank you so much.
No
Appreciate it.
problem. And thanks for having me. And hopefully I get to celebrate with everyone in the fall, but I appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Hope we see you. If you're watching this, hope we see you in the fall of semester, fall 2021. Thank you.
Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that longer interview there. I sure did. So we have an announcement from our academic excellence chair about his upcoming event. Oh, I need to stop screen sharing, my bad. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Dr. McGaugh, Brittany, Mr. Jones, I think he left, Ken, and all the alumni. I have an upcoming technical talk. It's going to be on how to protect your intellectual property, but I also cover an important matter of social justice. And I loved hearing your perspective, and I would love to hear your perspective on what I discover in my upcoming talk, and hopefully you can make it.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. We have that advertisement on our Instagram page. I should mention that we have a website that was actually created by our treasurer, Tony Graham. So that website is unlvnsbe.org. You can also find us on Facebook and YouTube. So we conducted quite a few interviews. We'll be conducting more interviews as time progresses, and we'll be putting it all under the banner per se of the 30th anniversary. So there are more interviews that we conducted that you did not see today, but we just did not have the time to share because we want to be very punctual and respect your time this afternoon. We thank you so much for giving us as much time as you have. So if you have a chance, please check out our YouTube channel. It's UNLV NSBE. And all of these interviews will be public after today. And again, we'll be conducting more, and we'll be just uploading more and more content to our YouTube channel for anyone who is interested in learning about organization and its history. Okay, so that about is all that I have at the moment. If you would be so kind, President Alula Mena, to close for us.
Okay, thank you so much, PJ and Dr. J, everyone here, Dr. Eugene, alumni, our e-board members. If it wasn't for you, really, we wouldn't be here. So it's a homage for you. We cannot appreciate you enough. Thank you so much. And we hope to celebrate the 40 years, the 50 years, and 60, 70 years, like Brittany said earlier. So thank you. That's all I have to say. Thank you for coming. And hope to see you next time in our next events as well. Does anyone want to say something else before we finish?
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Good question, sir. So for tomorrow, we were unsure if it was going to be possible. This event was originally planned to be a 2-day event, both Saturday and Sunday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And the second day was supposed to be sort of like a more professional event where we would have people, past alumni and current members, connecting with one another and companies from the Las Vegas Valley and Greater West, but that was not possible. So for tomorrow, we are considering having sort of more of a social event where people can still share their LinkedIn profiles, but we'll be able to have some conversations with former alumni and current members of UNLV NSBE. That is what would be planned tomorrow for 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. We haven't made it official yet, but that is sort of the unofficial plan. If that answers your question, sir.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We will let you know if you receive an email from us by the end of the day, or perhaps early tomorrow. That will be a sign that the event is a go. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Pardon me. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ken Evans. When I came here a little over 30 years ago, I was actually active duty Air Force engineering officer, but I met John Clark, Montez, several others, and then definitely Doc McGaugh was engineering mentor for me, as well as a community mentor for me. So I just want to say congratulations to you all. During the 30 years, seeing the students, whether you were in the MEP program or the NSBE chapter or both, just know that you're definitely making a difference. You're living up to the NSBE mission, and just keep doing what you're doing. It does make a difference toward the goal of producing 10,000 plus engineers that are culturally competent, professionally competent, plus turn around and contribute to their community. And I look forward to interacting with y'all more and more. In fact, I put something on Facebook that I think is going to get some additional support for some of the things that y'all are doing. So congratulations again. Great program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Evans. Any more comments before we close?
If I may just say a few words. Like I mentioned in my interview, and what an adventure, that interview, just piece of it. But anyway, I would love to say thank you so much for all of you, our alumni, our previous members of NSBE, our current students, and hopefully, since you already have a junior organization going on and you try to inspire young people, hopefully prospective students as they come to UNLV. I'm very humble, and I am truly honored to be your academic advisor, faculty advisor for your organization. Thank you so much for, like I said, for allowing me to be your advisor, to spend time with you. You are an excellent group of phenomenal, talented, and hardworking people. You know, we have to beat the odds on everyday basis, because there's a lot of assumptions that organization or program that I run right now that was established by Dr. McGaugh, that we give people something for free. There's nothing for free. You are in hardcore sciences. You really have to work hard. You know, for people who never touched sciences, who never picked up majors in sciences, in STEM, never had a career in those disciplines, they just simply don't know. They don't understand how hard you have to work to get your name out there, to just become somebody. So for me, I am truly honored. I'm here. Thank you so much for inviting me here to this celebration. I can't wait until I meet you in person. I'm hoping, we all come back on July 1st, and I swear to God, just let me know when we can get together. We will just meet and talk about, the 30 years experience, and at least the 8 years since 2013, January, since I became your advisor. So the shout out to the whole group. Thank you so much for choosing NSBE, for sticking up with this organization, helping young people to get to the next step, choose STEM in NSBE. So thank you.
I think the honor is ours, really, for helping us, being with us throughout all these years, and being a source of our strength, our pillar, a source of our resource. So really, the thank you is for you. And Dr. J also sacrificed her vacation just to be here with us. So another huge Thank you again.
I just started yesterday, so hey, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm leaving town tomorrow for 2 weeks. I'm fine. Don't not to worry. This was not a sacrifice.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Be strong and be safe. Remember, be strong and be safe. And don't let anybody to tell you. Do not let anybody to identify you. You know your name. Make your name out there. Be strong and proud of who you are.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And as Dr. J said, we actually plan to do an in-person anniversary next fall. So please be on the lookout. We'll send out the invites. We'll let you know more with the events. But this is definitely not the end. There's so much story, so much legacy to talk about, to learn from you guys. So a quick 2-hour virtual event wouldn't do it justice. So we need a whole day or like a whole night of dedicated in-person event. So we're definitely gonna be planning that, and we'll let you know. And we have all of you guys' contact info, so we will keep track. And hope to see you next semester, and hope to see you for 2 months upcoming event. It's going to be our last event for the semester as well. So definitely hope to see you there. Thank you so much for being with us for the day. Appreciate you for seeing our celebration, which all of you are a part of, and thank you so much. Appreciate it. And
So, yes, Mr. Ken Evans. Oh, are you waving goodbye or you have a point? Oh, okay. Farewell, Mr. Ken Evans. Thank you so much for your attendance today. So I would just like to say thank you to a few people and organizations. I'd like to thank the UNLV College of Engineering. I'd like to thank Dr. Eugene McGaugh, Dr. J, the Multicultural Program, and all of the other minority engineering programs and student organizations under the Multicultural Programs advisement. I'd like to thank NSBE as an organization, so corporate. Thank you to all the UNLV NSBE alumni. Thank you to first president 30 or so years ago, Dave Dragon. Thank you to the current UNLV NSBE general body. And thank you to Ms. Brittany Wheeler also for her immense contribution to our presentation today. So that is about all we have planned for today. We want to be very respectful of your time. It is currently 2:57. We'll stick around for about 3 more minutes if you have any more questions for us or would like any more information. Oh, yes. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you. Farewell. And happy anniversary. I don't think I ever said that. Happy
Great
anniversary.
job.
Thank you very much, sir. So I'm going to stop the recording right about now. I'd like to thank everyone who's viewing this after the actual celebration date. If you'd like to learn more about our organization, again, you can visit our website at unlvnsbe.org. We're going to be having some work done to our website next semester by a gentleman you saw in the program today, Mr. Tyler Peters. He's our new telecommunications chair, so he's going to be using his web development skills to help us make our website more beautiful and help people who visit our website be able to have more of a experience when they visit. So you can check us out on our website again, or on our Instagram. It'll be UNLV_NSBE, or on our Facebook channel, or Facebook page rather, UNLV National Society of Black Engineers. And then finally, we have our YouTube channel, again, where you can find all of these interview videos. Please check them out if you have the time, and if you'd like to learn more about our organization. That is UNLV NSBE. Thank you very much. Until we meet again.